The sky above Nevada wasn't supposed to ripple. Commander Elena Rodriguez stood on the observation deck of Earth Defense Command, watching the atmosphere fold like fabric in an impossible dance of light and shadow. 20 years of military service hadn't prepared her for this moment, humanity's first contact with an alien civilization. Multiple objects emerging from the distortion, Commander, Lieutenant Marcus Webb reported, his dark fingers dancing across the holographic display. Size estimates suggest a fleet of at least 30 vessels, largest one measuring 3 kilometers in length. Elena's jaw tightened. Earth's most advanced ships barely reached half a kilometer. Alert status. They're running cold, ma'am. No weapon signatures detected. But. Marcus hesitated, their hull configurations don't match any known designs. These aren't human ships. The radio crackled to life. A voice, oddly melodic yet unmistakably alien, filled the command center. People of Earth, we come seeking sanctuary. We are the Nexarians, and we beg for your mercy. Within hours, the United Earth Council convened an emergency session. Elena found herself facing the Council's stern faces as she delivered her preliminary report. The Nexarians' ambassador, a tall, crystalline being who called himself Verix, stood beside her. They're running from something, Elena explained, gesturing to the holographic star charts. The Nexarians have traversed 17 solar systems in the past Earth year alone. Whatever's chasing them has destroyed every civilization that tried to help them. Counselor Zhang leaned forward. And you believe bringing them here was wise, Commander? With respect, Counselor, they didn't give us much choice. Their ships are failing, their people are dying, and they have technology centuries beyond ours. They could have forced their way in. Instead, they asked permission. Verix's crystalline form shimmed as he spoke, his voice resonating with an almost musical quality. We understand your fear. We once were like you, proud, independent, masters of our own world. Then the Void Dominion came. The chamber fell silent as Verix projected an image into the center of the room. A massive vessel, darker than the space around it, shaped like a twisted thorn. They do not conquer, he continued. They do not enslave. They simply erase. Entire civilizations, gone in moments. We are all that remains of our people. Elena watched the council members' faces, seeing the same mix of fear and determination she felt. Humanity had dreamed of first contact for centuries, but not like this. Not with refugees bringing apocalypse in their wake. How long? Admiral Chen asked, his weathered face grave. Based on their current trajectory? Verix's crystalline form dimmed slightly. 3 months. Perhaps less. Elena stepped forward. Council members, I know what you're thinking. That we should turn them away, protect ourselves. But consider this, the Void Dominion is coming whether we help the Nexarians or not. At least this way, we have time to prepare. Time to learn from their technology. Time to give humanity a fighting chance. The council chambers erupted in heated debate. Hours passed as arguments flew back and forth. Finally, Council President Adebayo raised her hand for silence. Commander Rodriguez, she said, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's future, you'll lead the integration effort. Work with the Nexarians. Learn everything you can. Because if these Void Dominion arrive in 3 months, we need to be ready. The next weeks passed in a blur of activity. The Nexarians proved to be invaluable teachers, sharing advanced technologies that seemed like magic to human engineers. Quantum shields, gravity manipulation, faster-than-light communication, knowledge that would have taken humanity centuries to develop on its own. But it was Elena who made the crucial breakthrough. Late one night, studying Nexarian battle footage, she noticed something others had missed. The Void Dominion ships, she explained to her team, they're not invincible. They're predictable. Every attack follows the same patterns. They've never had to adapt because they've never faced real resistance. Marcus, now her chief tactical officer, grinned. And if there's one thing humans are good at, it's being unpredictable. The warning came sooner than anyone expected. Deep space sensors detected the first Void Dominion scout ships just 6 weeks after the Nexarians' arrival. Elena stood in the command center, watching the massive vessels approach, their very presence seeming to dim the stars around them. "They're earlier than we predicted," Varix observed, his crystalline form pulsing with anxiety. Elena's response was calm, measured, hiding the storm of emotions beneath. "Good. Because we're ready for them." She turned to her crew, her voice carrying across the command center. "Humanity didn't ask for this fight. We didn't seek this war. But if the Void Dominion wants to test us, they're about to learn something that every tyrant throughout human history has discovered: we don't bow, we don't break, and we never surrender." As she spoke, Earth's new combined fleet moved into position. Human ingenuity merged with Nexarian technology, creating weapons and defenses the Void Dominion had never encountered. The first battle for Earth's survival was about to begin, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy why you should never corner a species that had spent its entire history learning to overcome impossible odds. The first attack came without warning. The Void Dominion didn't bother with ultimatums or demands, they simply struck. Mumbai disappeared in a flash of impossible darkness, 7 million lives snuffed out in an instant. Before the world could even process the loss, Singapore followed, then Cairo, then Sao Paulo. Commander Elena Rodriguez watched the casualty report scroll past on her display, each number adding to the weight crushing her chest. The Nexarians' warnings hadn't prepared them for this level of devastation. "They're testing our defenses," Marcus said, his voice tight with controlled fury. "These aren't military targets, they're trying to break our spirit." Elena's response was cut short by a new alert. The massive view screen showed a Void Dominion vessel materializing above London, its twisted form blotting out the sun. But this time, Earth was ready. "Launch Operation Thunderbolt," Elena ordered, her voice steady despite the stakes. The experimental weapons they developed with Nexarian help were untested in real combat, but they had no choice. It was adapt or die. Orbital defense platforms, hidden in plain sight as communications satellites, sprang to life. Quantum-tipped missiles, designed to pierce the Void Dominion's supposedly impenetrable shields, streaked across the sky. The alien ship tried to raise its defenses, but the humans had learned from the Nexarians' mistakes. The explosion lit up the stratosphere, and for the first time in their long history of conquest, a Void Dominion ship fell. The victory was brief but significant, proof that the monsters could bleed. In the aftermath of the first wave, Elena found Varix in the quantum physics lab, his crystalline form dulled with grief. "We brought this upon you," the Nexarian said, his melodic voice heavy with remorse. "Perhaps we should have chosen extinction over involving another species in our war." Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a chamber that didn't officially exist, Commander Elena Rodriguez watched humanity's greatest gamble take shape. Project Phoenix had evolved beyond anyone's initial expectations, becoming something that even the Nexarians viewed with a mixture of awe and fear. "The quantum resonance field is stable," Marcus reported, his fingers dancing across holographic controls. "We've successfully replicated the Void Dominion's energy signature." Elena studied the swirling patterns of dark energy contained within the test chamber. Understanding their enemy's technology had been the key. The Void Dominion's ships weren't just advanced, they were quantum entangled on a massive scale, sharing power and consciousness across their entire fleet. It was their greatest strength, and Elena intended to make it their ultimate weakness. "Show me the simulation again," she ordered, watching as holographic projections filled the room. The plan was audacious: use the Void Dominion's own quantum network against them, turning their perfect synchronization into a devastating vulnerability. Varix's crystalline form pulsed with nervous energy. "In 900 years of fighting them, we never imagined this approach. It seemed impossible." "Impossible is what humans do best," Elena replied, remembering her grandfather's words from long ago. Especially when our backs are against the wall. The latest battle reports streamed in from across the solar system. Humanity's combined fleet, now enhanced with Nexarian technology, was holding its own against the Void Dominion's advance. But holding wasn't enough, they needed a decisive victory. Admiral Chen's voice crackled over the quantum comm. "Commander, we've confirmed your theory. The enemy's adaptation rate is dropping. They're struggling to counter our randomized attack patterns." It was the breakthrough they'd been waiting for. The Void Dominion's perfect efficiency was becoming their weakness. They couldn't process the chaos of human warfare fast enough to respond effectively. "Begin Phase 2, Elena ordered. Across the solar system, hidden quantum beacons activated, creating a web of energy that mirrored the Void Dominion's own network. It was like building a skeleton key to the enemy's entire military infrastructure. The cost was staggering. Every power grid on Earth strained to supply the energy needed. Cities went dark, and civilization retreated underground. But humanity had learned from its history, they'd prepared for this darkness, adapted to it, made it their ally. "Your people's resilience is remarkable," Varix observed, watching humans continue their work by emergency lighting. "We thought we were teaching you our technology, but you're teaching us something far more valuable." Elena understood. The Nexarians had spent centuries running, perfecting their technology but losing their warrior spirit. Humanity was showing them how to fight back, how to turn desperation into determination. The first real test of Project Phoenix came at Saturn. A Void Dominion battle group, attempting to flank Earth's defenses, encountered what appeared to be an easy target, a small group of human ships protecting a research station. But this time, humanity had a surprise waiting. "Quantum web activated," Marcus announced, his voice tense with anticipation. "Enemy ships are in position." Elena gave the order, "Execute Protocol Prometheus." The effect was immediate and devastating. The Void Dominion ships, linked by their own quantum network, suddenly found that connection turned against them. Human ships, using technology that shouldn't have existed, tapped into their command structure. For the first time in their history of conquest, the Void Dominion experienced fear. The battle lasted less than an hour. When it was over, 30 Void Dominion ships had been destroyed or captured, their crews unable to comprehend how their perfect system had been corrupted. Humanity had proven that the invincible could be defeated. But victory came with a price. The energy drain from Project Phoenix had pushed Earth's infrastructure to its limits. Major cities would remain in darkness for weeks, and the captured Void Dominion technology was proving difficult to contain. In the aftermath, Elena found herself in a quiet moment with Marcus and Varix, watching Earth's lights slowly flicker back to life from an orbital station. "We've burned so much to win this war," Marcus said softly, his eyes on the darkened continents below. "Yes," Elena agreed, "but like the Phoenix, we'll rise from these ashes stronger than before." The Void Dominion thought they were facing a primitive species. Instead, they found something they've never encountered, a civilization that grows stronger through adversity. Varix's crystalline form brightened with understanding. "That's why we never succeeded against them. We tried to match their perfection, their efficiency. But you embrace chaos, turn weakness into strength." As they spoke, long-range sensors detected the Void Dominion's main fleet adjusting course, moving faster toward Earth. They had felt the sting of defeat, and now they were coming to end the threat once and for all. "Let them come," Elena said, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's determination. "We've learned their weaknesses, adapted our strategies, and prepared our trap. Now it's time to show them why you should never underestimate a species that thrives on impossible odds." The final battle for Earth's survival was approaching, and humanity was ready to rewrite the rules of galactic warfare. The void between Mars and Jupiter erupted with quantum fire as the largest space battle in human history began. 5,000 Void Dominion ships, their black hulls drinking in starlight, faced off against humanity's combined fleet. On the command deck of the EDS Phoenix, Commander Elena Rodriguez watched the enemy's formation with calculated calm. "They've adapted their quantum network," Marcus reported, his eyes fixed on the tactical display. "Our previous exploitation methods won't work as effectively." Elena nodded, having expected this. "But they still can't completely abandon their network without losing their advantage. That's all we need." The Void Dominion had learned from their defeats, splitting their perfect synchronization into smaller, independent battle groups. But in doing so, they'd sacrificed the very efficiency that made them unstoppable. They were learning to adapt, but they were learning too late. "All ships, execute battle plan Hydra," Elena commanded. The human fleet split apart in what appeared to be chaos, small groups scattering in seemingly random directions. To the Void Dominion's rigid tactical minds, it looked like retreat. They couldn't have been more wrong. Varix, watching from his station, finally understood the true genius of humanity's strategy. "You're not just fighting them, you're teaching them fear." The scattered human ships suddenly reversed course, each group targeting a different Void Dominion battle cluster. The enemy's divided network worked against them, preventing their usual perfect coordination. As they struggled to adapt to multiple simultaneous attack vectors, Project Phoenix's true purpose was revealed. "Quantum resonance peaks detected in all targeted clusters," Marcus announced. "They're trying to re-establish their primary network." "Exactly as predicted," Elena smiled grimly. "Execute Protocol Prometheus." Hidden throughout the asteroid belt, quantum beacons activated in sequence. The Void Dominion ships, attempting to reconnect their network, instead found their systems hijacked by human technology. Ships that had never known defeat suddenly found themselves unable to distinguish friend from foe. The battle devolved into chaos, perfect, calculated chaos. Human ships, smaller and more maneuverable, darted between the massive Void Dominion vessels. Fighter squadrons executed impossible maneuvers, their pilots pushing enhanced ships beyond their designed limits. The enemy's superior technology meant nothing against human unpredictability and determination. But the Void Dominion hadn't conquered galaxies by being easily defeated. Their flagship, a behemoth that dwarfed even their largest vessels, began emitting a strange energy signature that Elena had never seen before. "They're attempting something unprecedented," Varix warned, his crystalline form vibrating with alarm. "They're channeling power from their entire remaining fleet into a single weapon." Elena watched as the massive ship's energy readings went beyond anything their sensors could measure. The Void Dominion was preparing to destroy not just Earth's fleet, but potentially the entire solar system. "All ships, fall back to designated coordinates," Elena ordered. Then, quieter, to Marcus, "Initialize the Lazarus Protocol." Marcus's eyes widened. "Commander, we haven't tested it at full scale. The energy requirements alone could burn out every system we have," Elena finished. "I know. But if we don't stop them here, there won't be an Earth to save." The Lazarus Protocol was humanity's ultimate gambit, a weapon designed to turn the Void Dominion's quantum entanglement against them on a massive scale. Every human ship, every defense platform, even Earth's power grid would channel energy into a single, devastating pulse. As the Void Dominion flagship charged its weapon, humanity prepared its response. Elena thought of all the lives lost, all the sacrifices made to reach this moment. "Begin transmission of the Lazarus signal," she ordered. "All power to quantum shields." The space between the fleets lit up with impossible energies as both sides unleashed their ultimate weapons. The Void Dominion's blast, powerful enough to shatter planets, met humanity's quantum pulse in a collision that bent space itself. For a moment, time seemed to stop. Elena watched as the quantum pulse propagated through the enemy fleet's fractured network, turning their own energy against them. The Void Dominion flagship, trapped by its own power, began to collapse in on itself. Multiple quantum cascade failures detected throughout the enemy fleet, Marcus reported, his voice tight with exhaustion and hope. "Their network it's eating itself alive." One by one, Void Dominion ships began to fail, their perfect technology becoming their perfect doom. Those that weren't destroyed outright fell dormant, their quantum cores burned out by the feedback loop humanity had created. But victory came at a terrible cost. Half of Earth's fleet was gone, and every surviving ship was running on emergency power. The Lazarus Protocol had burned out communication systems across the solar system. Earth would remain in darkness for months. In the battle's aftermath, Elena stood on the observation deck of the crippled Phoenix, watching rescue ships move among the debris field. Beside her, Varix's crystalline form glowed with a new brightness. "You did it," the Nexarian said softly. "You did what we thought impossible. You broke the Void Dominion's power." Elena shook her head. "No, we did it together. Your knowledge and our determination. But this isn't over, there are more Void Dominion fleets out there, and they'll come looking for revenge. And when they do," Marcus added, joining them at the window, "they'll find a humanity that's stronger, more united, and ready for them." As emergency power slowly returned to Earth's cities, humanity began to rebuild. But they rebuilt differently this time, incorporating lessons learned from both their allies and their enemies. The galaxy's greatest predators had tried to erase humanity from existence. Instead, they had forced humanity to evolve into something new, something that could reshape the very stars themselves. 1 year after the Battle of Jupiter, humanity had changed more than anyone could have predicted. The darkness that had covered Earth's cities had given birth to a new era of innovation. Where the Void Dominion expected to find a broken civilization, they instead discovered a species transformed by adversity. Commander Elena Rodriguez, now Admiral of Earth's combined fleet, stood on the bridge of the EDS Prometheus, humanity's first true capital ship. Built using a combination of salvaged Void Dominion technology and human ingenuity, it represented everything they had become: adaptive, resilient, and unwilling to accept defeat. "Fleet status report," she ordered, watching as ships gathered around Jupiter's orbit. The massive gas giant had become humanity's forward operating base, its radiation helping to mask their quantum signatures. Marcus, now fleet captain, brought up the tactical display. "All battle groups report ready. The Nexarian contingent is in position, and the quantum network is stable. We're as ready as we'll ever be." This time, Earth wasn't waiting for the Void Dominion to come to them. Long-range scouts had located their primary factory world, the heart of their empire. It was time to end this war once and for all. "Your people have come so far," Varix observed, his crystalline form resonating with the ship's quantum core. "A year ago, this would have seemed impossible." Elena smiled, remembering the desperate days after first contact. "Impossible is just another word for, not tried hard enough yet." The combined fleet jumped into quantum space, using techniques that merged human creativity with Nexarian precision. The Void Dominion had never imagined their enemies would dare to strike at their homeworld. That arrogance would be their undoing. They emerged from quantum space to find the factory world's defenses already engaging them. Thousands of automated defense platforms and orbital rings protected the planet where the Void Dominion built their seemingly invincible ships. "All ships, execute Battle Plan Odysseus," Elena commanded. The fleet split into its component battle groups, each one targeting a specific defense layer. But the real attack wasn't coming from the ships. Deep within the Prometheus, Project Genesis activated. It was humanity's ultimate achievement, a weapon that didn't destroy but transformed. The quantum pulse rippled out, carrying within it lines of code that rewrote the very foundation of Void Dominion technology. Quantum infection spreading through their network, Marcus reported, watching as defense platforms began shutting down. "They're trying to adapt, but the virus is moving faster than they can respond." The Void Dominion had built their empire on perfect synchronization and unbreakable quantum links. They never imagined those links could be turned into a pathway for their destruction. One by one, their defensive systems fell silent. But victory wouldn't come easily. The surface of the factory world erupted as massive ships rose from hidden hangars, the Void Dominion's reserve fleet, untouched by the quantum virus. They've completely isolated these ships from their network, Varix warned. Our virus can't reach them. Elena nodded, having expected this. Then we'll do this the old-fashioned way. All ships, engage at will. Show them what humanity has learned. The battle that followed would be remembered for centuries. Human ships, now equipped with hybrid technology, matched the Void Dominion vessel for vessel. Where the enemy relied on perfect formations and predictable patterns, humanity brought chaos and innovation. Fighter squadrons executed maneuvers that defied physics, using quantum fields to bend space itself around them. Boarding parties, led by specially trained quantum-enhanced soldiers, breached Void Dominion ships and turned them against their own fleet. The Prometheus itself engaged the enemy flagship, a battle of titans that lit up the space around the factory world. Elena stood steady as her ship traded blows with an enemy that had terrorized galaxies for millennia. Their quantum core is destabilizing, Marcus reported as the Prometheus landed another direct hit. One more shot. The enemy flagship's desperate final attack caught them by surprise. A beam of pure quantum energy struck the Prometheus, burning through shields and armor. Emergency bulkheads slammed shut as sections of the ship began to decompress. Reroute all power to forward weapons, Elena ordered, ignoring the damage reports flooding her console. Prepare to fire Genesis Protocol. The Prometheus's main gun, powered by the combined energy of its human and Nexarian technologies, fired a single shot. The beam struck the enemy flagship's quantum core, and for a moment, space itself seemed to hold its breath. The explosion that followed could be seen from neighboring star systems. The Void Dominion flagship, along with most of their reserve fleet, vanished in a quantum cascade that rewrote the laws of physics in its wake. In the aftermath, Elena stood with Marcus and Varix in the Prometheus's observation dome, watching as combined human-Nexarian teams began the process of claiming the factory world. The Void Dominion's empire, built on fear and perfect order, had fallen to human chaos and determination. What now? Marcus asked, looking out at the stars that suddenly seemed full of possibility rather than threat. Elena thought about how far they'd come, from a single planet defending itself to a species ready to take its place among the stars. Now we rebuild, but not just Earth. We help rebuild every world the Void Dominion destroyed. We show the galaxy that humanity doesn't just survive, we help others thrive. Varix's crystalline form pulsed with agreement. You've given hope to species that had forgotten what hope felt like. The galaxy will never be the same. As ships from Earth began arriving with supplies and personnel to secure their victory, Elena reflected on the price they'd paid to reach this moment. Millions had died, cities had burned, and Earth had endured its darkest hours. But from that darkness had emerged something extraordinary, a humanity united not just with itself but with the stars. The Void Dominion had sought to erase humanity from existence. Instead, they had forced humanity to evolve into something new, guardians of a galaxy that would never again bow to tyranny. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter, as if celebrating the dawn of a new era. Humanity had not just survived, they had risen from the ashes of war to become something greater than anyone could have imagined. And this was just the beginning.